Hello, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to Screencasts with Loom. If you look at the bottom of the slide deck, you'll see there's a bit.ly link that will take you to the slide deck that we are going to be using throughout this presentation. So this is a 1-hour training, and what it will include is a webinar where Lauren will walk through Loom and some of the benefits of using Loom and how to use it. And then we will have time at the end for some work time where we will be on the call to answer your questions as you begin using the tool. So one thing I just forgot to do was to introduce myself and Lauren. So my name is Amy Fosek, and presenting today will be Lauren Swissman, and we are technology and innovation coaches for the district. So if you have questions during the webinar, we're going to ask that you please use the chat feature at the bottom. If it is a question that is specific to you and your use of Loom, if you could please direct message me personally in the chat. If it is a question that you think others will have, go ahead and put it in the chat to everyone. As a reminder, this is being recorded, and at about 48 hours after this recording, it will be posted via the Canva link that is on the slide deck. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Lauren.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Loom webinar. I'm going to go ahead and go over our agenda for today. We're going to start off today's webinar with sign up and login. Then we'll move over to how do you record and share your video recording. And then we'll go into some other features for customizing your screencasting and videos. And the remainder of the time, as Amy said, will be for question and answers and for work time for that remainder of the hour. At the bottom of each slide, again, you'll see that bit.ly link. If you would like access to today's slide deck, please go to bit.ly/LoomPUSD, and that's all lowercase. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start with how do you create a Loom account? So Loom is an awesome tool in that they've allowed educators to have a free account for life. A free paid account. So you get all of the features that anyone who is paying would get. This includes unlimited video times, unlimited sharing, and access to many of their premium features. So to sign up for an account, you first need to know do I already have an account? I know sometimes we've created accounts in the past, but we don't really remember if we have them or not. So you need to check and see if you do have an account. If you do, what you need to do is email education@loom.com. That's if you made an account prior to COVID. You need to email education@loom.com and let them know, hey, I'm a verified teacher and I need that 100% discount applied to my account so that I get that Loom Pro for free. If you do not have an account, you can go to loom.com/signup. And we recommend that you sign up with Google. It'll look just like that picture in the bottom right of the screen with the Google symbol, and sign up with Google. And to use your Poway USD email address, by using your Poway email address through Google, Loom can quickly verify that you're a teacher, and you'll automatically get those Loom Pro features that you want to be able to make the best high quality videos you can. So again, if you have an account already and you made it before school shutdowns and COVID, please email education@loom.com and just let them know that you are an educator. If you do not have an account, please feel free to go to loom.com/signup and sign up with Google. All right. So this next part is about how you record with Loom. Now, Loom gives you two options for recording your video. You can record it through the Chrome extension or the desktop app. Now, the only difference between these two, they both do wonderful high definition recording. The only difference is that the desktop app has some features that the Chrome extension does not. The features that the desktop app has is a whiteboard annotation feature, you can see in this example here, and a highlighting of the cursor. So notice as the user clicks, we'll wait till it clicks again, it turns yellow. There's a little yellow circle around it. These features are not available right now in the Chrome extension version of this. They're only available in the desktop app. If you're not sure which one you can use best for your computer, you first need to ask yourself, does my computer have memory on it? So if you're on a Chromebook, you cannot download the desktop app. However, if you're on something like a desktop computer or a MacBook, you can get that desktop app. For the purpose of today's recording, we're going to use the Chrome extension as our example because this is the most commonly used one, as it's available on all different computers, no matter which computer you're on. And it's easily accessible because it runs right on your Chrome web browser. To download either of these, you can go ahead and click on this slide. You can either click Chrome extension or desktop app. If you click on Chrome extension, you'll be brought to this page and you'll see add to Chrome. Mine says remove. And then this symbol will be downloaded up here. This is the Loom symbol here. Any questions so far, Amy?
Nope, we are good. One other thing was, can we download the desktop app on a PUSD laptop without help from IT, or do they need to have IT do that for them?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe on your ones at school, so the desktops at school, I believe you would need IT administrator login to download that for you. However, I'm not sure about new computers being distributed to teachers. That's something that we can find out for you and get back to you if you email us at edtech@powayusd.com. I don't have an exact answer for you on that right now. However, the extension can be downloaded on a PUSD computer. So you can quickly add the Chrome extension without administrator login. Okay. So once Chrome is on your, let me escape there. Once Chrome extension has been downloaded, you'll see this Loom for Chrome up here. It's this little kind of pinkish red symbol. And when you click on it, it easily brings up your recording options. So you have 3 options for making a video recording. You can record your screen, so anything on your screen or what you choose to share on your screen, and a video of yourself down here in the bottom left corner at the same time. This is probably their most popular option. It really personalizes your lessons, as maybe you're talking about something on the screen. Your students can also see you in the bottom left corner. You can also choose to make yourself bigger or smaller, depending on how much of your screen or how much of yourself you want to share. You can also choose whether you want to share your entire desktop or just the tab you're working on. I might want to share my entire desktop if I'm switching between different apps or different tabs. Maybe I want to go to another tab. The next one is screen only. So maybe I don't want to share myself. I'd click that X to get rid of if I don't want to show my picture, and I'm just sharing my screen. And the last one is camera only. So once I start recording, my screen will disappear and I'll just see the video of myself. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move into some of the ways that you can personalize and change some of the options within your recording.
Lauren,
yep.
Do you mind, before you go on, we're getting a lot of questions in the chat, just some of the differences between Loom and Canvas Studio and Screencastify. Do you mind just touching on a few of those differences? I know a lot has to do with the video lengths.
So I'll start with, that's a bunch of different tools. I'll start with that they're all very similar in that, yes, you can record a video. they have different pros and cons to each of them. So with Screencastify, you can only record a 5-minute video, whereas with Loom, you have unlimited time with the videos for lifetime, because we have these pro accounts as educators. So that's why we've chosen Loom over Screencastify as a way during our webinars. However, if Screencastify is a tool that you prefer to use, it has very similar features to Loom. You can do pretty much all the same things you do in Loom as you can do on Screencastify. However, you're limited to those 5-minute recordings. With Canvas Studio, you are within Canvas automatically, which might be helpful as you're setting up your courses there. With Canvas Studio, you can record yourself, or you can upload a video from a third-party source such as YouTube, and you can embed questions within the video. Now with Loom, and I'll get to this in a minute, you cannot embed questions in the video where it stops them. They makes them answer that question before moving on. That is something that's unique to a tool like Edpuzzle and Canvas Studio. My recommendation would be first to try Canvas Studio over Edpuzzle, just because it's already in Canvas there for you, it's already in your course, and it kind of takes out a step from you having to do Edpuzzle and then put it into your Canvas LMS course. However, Canvas Studio and Edpuzzle are very similar in that you can watch a video and embed and insert questions at particular points of that video. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going on, and I think some of these questions and differences might become a bit more clear as I explain the options you have in Loom. All right. So this first customization that you have here is the ability to flip your camera. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. This might not seem like a big deal. You can see in the bottom left corner, I'm turning the flip off and on. I'm flipping back and forth. It might not seem like a big deal. However, if you were to hold up text in front of the camera, it would be backwards. If I flip it, it becomes able for students to read. So if you're doing a question and answer, you're trying to model something, it might be helpful to flip that camera. All right. The control menu, you can see if I turn it off and on, it disappears from down below. And this last one here is the recording countdown. It gives you a 3-second countdown from when you hit start recording. I like the 3 seconds. I need that to know that it's going to get started to kind of position myself, but you can turn that off. So once you hit, I'll go back to screen and cam, start recording, you have the option, again, your entire screen, or do you just want to share your webinar? A little tidbit of advice is I would recommend just sharing the window that you want to share if you do not plan on switching from screen to screen, because if you do have email notifications that pop up or you have messaging on your personal computer, you would not want that to show on your recording. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my Loom webinar screen. I get my 3-second countdown. Now I know it's recording because this green check mark here, I just remember, okay, green, it's going, I know it's recording. An awesome feature of Loom is that if you need a second to gather your thoughts before you continue recording, you can hit the pause button. So it says recording paused, and then I can resume my recording. Throughout this, if I decide I don't want my video on anymore, I can turn it off mid-recording. I could hide the entire menu, and I can cancel the recording altogether. When you're done recording, you're going to go ahead and click that check mark. And if you notice, a website automatically popped up with my video ready to go. So it's really on the spot. It's done and there for you as soon as you finish recording. I can rewatch my video, and I can even change the speed at which I'm watching it. It automatically creates a link for me. And you can see the link here. If I copy the link, I'm able to share it. It's a unique link that's just for that video you made. And it is not like the YouTube links. If you share this with your students, they will not be blocked from watching it. So if you shared it on the Google Doc or Google Classroom or Canvas, they would be able to watch it. Now, it's default set so that only people with the link can see your video. So no one can search the internet to find your video. We recommend leaving it on link sharing and not going public, as you might be sharing full student names or any personal student information that we wouldn't want open to the public. Additionally, if you want to add an extra layer of security, you can also add a password to that. So not only would they need the link, they would also need to know a password. All right. So let's go ahead down to some ways that you can edit your video. We're going to start with the settings. When I click on settings, you notice there are a couple of things that I can change in here. I'm going to start with the comments right here on top. When I scroll down, you can see there's something that kind of looks like a discussion board here, where students have the ability to add comments as they watch the video. So if I say, great lesson, hopefully all of our students are saying that, they post something, or I do not understand rounding numbers. They might have a question about the video, they can post it here, and then it looks a bit like a discussion board. And other students can also reply, and you can reply to individual student comments. Another thing that's great about this is that it tells you at what second of the video they were watching when they made that comment. So it gives us a little bit context to their question. So if they're watching it at 1 minute and 20 seconds, it would say that as when they commented it. And it's also a little bit smart and intuitive here in that it says, they noticed that I recorded my video on a Google slide. Would I like to share my Google slide presentation? So I might share that there. I might share a link that I want students to have, additional resources that go along with the video. It is important to note that if you are going to turn comments on, that it's important to have that digital citizenship discussion about what is appropriate to put in a comments section, and that students have been scaffolded to be successful in this area of commenting, and that they know what is appropriate to do there. Comment email notifications is the next setting. Do you want to get emailed every time a student comments? This next one is emoji reactions. This is a great segue into setting students up for success with comments. So maybe in the beginning of the year, you haven't done enough digital citizenship to let them really just delve into the comments. By just allowing them to do the emoji reactions, and I'll show you what that is. Now, during the video, if they like, or there's a surprise, or they agree with something, they can insert that emoji. And I can see as the teacher who inserted what when. Other students can also see these symbols, but they cannot see who did it. So maybe you might see when you shared something surprising, or you made a funny joke, that your students might put in these emojis as they're watching it. So that's a way for them to be interactive and set them up to say, okay, I can interact with the videos, get them used to that, and then you can introduce comments as digital citizenship is taught. I'm going to skip down here to the viewer can download. This is another thing to note in terms of student privacy. So you might want to turn this off just to be on the safe side, as if you're using student pictures or full names or personal information, we wouldn't want students to be downloading this video. The last thing here are analytics. Do you want students to be able to see the analytics of the video? That is in reference to how many views total the video has and how many unique views. So this might be viewed 20 times. However, it was only from 10 people. It will show that here. As a teacher, I cannot see exactly who is viewing it, but I can see the total number of views and how many unique viewers. So if there were 27 students in my class, I would hope that there'd be 27 unique views. And I can see that information here. You can turn it off if you do not want it shown to students, if you do not want them to see that feature. Okay, so that's the settings of editing your video. The next part is trimming your video. This is an awesome tool, especially when maybe you had a moment where you need to get up and get a glass of water and you forgot to pause, or you didn't mean to share that thing just yet and you want to take just that part out. So you can hit start trimming and you can take out any portion of the video that you would like removed. So maybe I want to remove the middle of my video right here. I click remove. I publish the changes and it's automatically updated. I do not even need to get a new link. It is the exact same link as before. All right. Our next feature is the call to action button. This is super awesome in that it gives students a way to click on something within your video. So maybe, for example, I'm doing a math lesson and I then want them to do an exit ticket from my lesson in Seesaw. What I might do is put a link to that Seesaw activity within this call to action button. So as you can see, when I click that, it puts a button right in the middle of my video. It'll move it to the side in a second. I might name it exit ticket, put in the link to the Seesaw activity. I can even adjust the colors or the shape of the button. I click save. And now when I play that video, watch again, you can see the ticket, I'm sorry, not the ticket, the button in the top right corner here, so that as students are watching, when you refer to click the button, they can click it to go to that reading you want them to read or that exit ticket you want them to fill out. It's right there on that video for them. All right.
Lauren, do you know offhand if students need to have a Loom account in order to comment on a Loom video?
Good question. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the student view. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to go ahead into a guest account. Oops, didn't mean to do that. A student view. So this is what students would see. Let me make sure I have comments turned on. I do not, that is why. Okay, let me go ahead and save those settings. So I'll refresh this page. So this is what a student would see. So as they're watching the video, they might comment something. It'll ask them for their name. It'll ask them for their full name. However, if they're already logged in and they're logged in through their Google account, it'll automatically put their name as it did for me up here. If they are not logged in, it'll ask for their name. So student A, then they can post it. So if they do not have an account and they're not logged in, it'll just ask them for their name, but they can still comment. If they are signed in and they can make a free account, I recommend you have them log in with their through Google, just like we had you do. You hit that sign in with Google and they use their PowerUSD email address, because then it'll automatically import their name, their full name, and they can't change it. So they do not need an account to view it or to post. However, if you would like their name to be automatically put in there, they can have a free account.
Lauren, do you mind showing that one more time? People were not able to see your screen when you went to the student view.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm sharing my entire screen. All right, now I believe you can see the student view. Thanks, Amy. Can you see this there where it says sign in at the top? I think so. All right, so this is what your student would see. They would not need to sign in to watch the video.
No,
They would just need to, when they go to post, it'll ask them for their full name. So if they're not logged in, it will ask them for their name. If they are logged in, it'll automatically post with their name, just as mine did up here, because I logged in with Google, and Google will share my information such as my full name.
just to clarify, when your students are signing up for a Loom account, they will use their PUSD login, and that is considered their email account. So although they're not able to use that to email one another, they can use that email address to sign up on different programs.
Yes, when we say their Google email, we just mean it's written as an email address, however, they do not have email access. So they would go to Get Loom for free and click sign up with Google, and they would have to put in their Poway at powayusd.com, at stu.powayusd.com account. All right. Any more questions about that? I will go back to my original screen sharing.
Lauren, one question is, when you are assigning the exit ticket within Loom, can you embed that within a Canvas assignment so that their score will link to SpeedGrader?
So let me make sure I understand the question correctly. If I want to make the call to action button link to a Canvas assignment, is that what you're asking?
Yes, do you see how you have it as the exit ticket option on your screen? Yep.
So what I would do, I would just change this to exit ticket or Canvas assignment, whatever it might be. And then I would copy the link of my assignment page and I would put that here. So can you see me as I go to Canvas?
Yes, we can see you.
Awesome, just want to make sure. If I go to my Canvas course page, let's see, let me go to my practice page. If I go to an assignment I have, once I'm on my assignment page, I would go up to the top and copy this link. Then I would head back over, go ahead and move this, head back over to the button, and I would paste that assignment link there and click save. So the students could then click here and be taken right to that assignment. All right. Okay, if there's not any other questions, I'll keep moving forward with a couple of other things that we wanted to cover. The next thing I wanted to cover was downloading. If you'd like to download your video, you can simply just click this download button right here. If you'd like to duplicate your video and make 2 copies, click that, delete, or share. You do have this sharing link up here. However, you might want to share it in a different format. A popular format for sharing this on Canvas is embedding the video. To embed a video means not just to put the link on that page, but to actually put that video on the page. So on the left here, we had the video on the page. This is embedding. On the right-hand side, we just have the link. That would just be sharing the link. If I would like to not only put the link in my Canvas page, but to embed it, I'm going to copy this embed code. I'm going to go head over to my Canvas page, and I'm going to find a page where I want to put it, or an assignment. So for our practice, I'm going to go ahead and create a new page. So math lesson, just as an example. So I have my embed code copied. I'm not going to put it in this editor. I'm going to change to HTML editor. That's putting it into more of that code speak so that the Canvas page can interpret the link that I'm putting in. So again, I just hit HTML editor. I'm going to copy that embed code and click Save and Publish. Now I have my video in here in Canvas for students to watch. Now you could also simply just put in that original link you had here, and they could click it and be brought to a page just like this. So you have two options. You can embed it, or you can put a clickable link for students to click on and be brought to that other Loom website. You have two options here. Click the link and they're brought to the website of Loom, or watch it directly on this page. If you would like students to engage in the commenting, they need to do that on this web page. That is not available if you embed it in Canvas. Any questions, Amy, before I go on to the next thing?
Yes, you do not need, I'm just answering some questions in the chat right now. One question in there is, we don't need to use the HTML editor if we want to insert a clickable link. You are correct. You do not need to use the HTML editor if you are just embedding a link within your Canvas assignment.
Yep.
And I had put in the chat earlier that somebody had asked about the closed captioning feature in Loom. It is not available. However, it is on their roadmap because they are getting so many requests to have this feature added. So we'll cross our fingers that they release that soon.
All right. The last thing we're going to go ahead and show you in this is your personal library. So this is my library of videos I've created when I click on this. And you can see in here I have all my videos, but I also have folders that I've created. So I can create a new folder by clicking New Folder here. I might name that folder Science Lessons, or I might organize it by week of 9, 10 lessons. Ooh, can't include that. Another great feature of this, just like Google Drive, is that I can share this folder with other teachers if we're recording lessons that we want to share together, or I can share it directly with my students. So let's say I know I'm going to be doing all of my reading lessons for that week on Loom. I might put all of them in the week of 9, 10 folder, and I can share that folder with students. Copy this link so that I don't have to share the individual videos with them separately. I don't have to share this video, then this video, then this video. I can just move all the videos to this folder, and then I can share the folder with my students. You do not have to change the link when you add new videos to the folder. It'll automatically update so that when the students click on the folder link, they can watch the videos. So that's about all the features we're going to share today. We will remain on here for about the next 10 minutes or so if you have any more questions. It is expected that you use the rest of this hour to work on Loom, getting started, and we will be here if you have any questions. Thank you so much for tuning into our webinar today. And again, as we said in the beginning, the recording of this webinar will be available within 2 days. We just need some time to edit it, and it will be up on that Canva link on the professional development Canva that was shared out with you with the original Zoom links.
There are some questions in the chat that Lauren and I will just continue to answer. One question was about making the video mandatory for students to watch before they go on to the next assignment. And you can do that within Canvas if you set it up in as a module is what I would suggest, where then they have to watch the video first. Once they watch the video, then their assignment will unlock. And if you would like additional training on some of those Canvas features, those trainings are going to continue throughout these next few weeks on those Canvas features, as well as you can go to the PUSD digital teaching site that we made and access previous trainings that we have done with Canvas tools. If we did not get to your question because it got lost in the chat, please feel free to repaste that again so we can make sure that we address all questions.
So Kelly, I see your question here. Unfortunately, at this time, the call to action button is on the video at the entire time of the video. You can't just put it in at a certain time. However, I would recommend saying, I know the button's there at the beginning of the video. I'll let you know when to click the button to your students so that they know when to open it up. The difference between Canvas and Canva, I know this sounds super alike. Canvas is our learning management system where you have courses with your students enrolled in them every year, and you can create, put all of your course content into Canvas. Canva is a design tool where LSS and technology and innovation and several other departments and in the district put their training links on and shared out with you via email. Canva is something that we use because we can make things look nice and also share out something that we can edit. So if there was something that we need to change or we wanted to add more trainings to it, whatever it might be, it is a live flyer link that is sent out to you. When you share the folder with students, it would appear in their Loom account if they do have one. However, if you just share it with them regularly, you would need to share the link if they did not have the account. Amy, would you be able to share that Canvas Studio link? I believe that we had a webinar on that in the spring.
Yep,
and
I will pull that up right now and I'll stick it in the chat.
Natasha, to answer your question, if you want to show a video during your screencast, it should work. However, sometimes depending on the device you're on, and unfortunately, this is how I have to answer it, is you have to make sure that in the recording, I would test it out before showing the whole video, that the recording picks up on the sound of the video you're playing on your screen. You might have to toggle with your audio settings a bit to make sure that the sound of the video is recorded.
And Lauren, the exit ticket feature will still work when you embed a video into Canvas, correct?
Correct. The button should still work. However, the discussion board does not. However, you can put the video into a discussion board that's created by Canvas, just not the one created by Loom. I'm going through these questions here. If you do have a question, you can email edtech, E-D-tech, at powayusd.com. You can use the district Chromebook to have access to Loom. Just make sure you're logged into your teacher account and you can add that extension. You cannot use the desktop app on a Chromebook. And just want to make sure everyone knows, if you feel that you have a good grasp on this and you have no more questions, you are more than welcome to leave this Zoom. Thank you again for attending today. We want to make sure that we're here to answer questions if you need them, but if you feel ready to go ahead and go on and spend the remainder of the time working on Loom, feel free to leave the Zoom. Regarding the Chrome extension, if we are still working online.
So for those of you who are newer to using Canvas, Canvas does now have a assignments integration tool. So if you are, I see some questions about sharing slide decks and docs with your students. If these are assignments within in docs and slides that you want to assign to students, there is a feature where you can integrate your Google slide or doc as an assignment, and it will make a copy for each student in your class. So similar to what Google Classroom was doing. And then it will put their name on it and put it in a folder within your drive.
There's a question about, so if you cannot have the desktop app that has that, and I'll go back to that feature in the slide deck. If you want this feature, this kind of whiteboard annotation feature, but do not want the desktop app or can't have it, there are a couple of ways around this. One, Zoom has an annotation feature, so you could use the Zoom annotation feature if you open that up. Also, there are many other extensions that have kind of annotation tools or whiteboard websites. Amy knows of a great one, Whiteboard FI, you could pull up to annotate or use a whiteboard, or Explain Everything is another great website for using a whiteboard if you want to use kind of more of that type of screen for your screen sharing. To get the Loom app for desktop, you can click on this slide and click Desktop App, and it'll take you to loom.com/desktop. And you can download for Mac or for PC. And I'll put that link in here. The reason we chose the Chrome extension is that it can be downloaded on almost any computer, and that it's simple and easy to click right there. I don't have to open up anything. It's just right there for me, and it's super accessible. I do not know about an Android app. That I'm not sure about. Okay, a question about requiring them to log in. I would have them make an account first before ever showing a Loom video to them. That way they're automatically logged in. However, the best way to prevent them from changing their name, again, is to continue having those discussions around digital citizenship to make sure they know that it's only appropriate to use their name when using educational tools.
And we will be offering a Zoom for Educators PD once teachers report back for their work year to begin.
So just to clarify, students do not need a Loom account to watch the video. However, if they do not have an account and you have commenting turned on, they can create their own name for the comment. So an important step there would be to have that digital citizenship discussion with the students to make sure that they're using their name. The benefit of them having a Loom account would be, one, if you want them to create their own Loom videos, which many teachers use and find helpful, or if you want them to automatically be logged in and have their full name there when they comment and not be able to change it. It is possible to edit or delete comments in Loom once they are made from the teacher account. However, students cannot edit or delete each other's comments. Thank you, everyone. If you happen to have any other questions, feel free, again, you can email edtech, and I'll put it in the chat, at powausd.com. And then a recording of this webinar will be posted within the next 2 days. Thank you, everyone.